And I'll go ahead and tell everybody in here that the best way to contact me, bring it back down, is until you see the little things over here, because that's how I write. There we go. The best way to contact me is cell number. 864-356-3874. If you don't want to use my cell number, the second best way is my email. Okay? What's the worst way to get in contact with me? Would you find it? My office phone. My office phone is the worst way to contact me, because I'm not in there. I'm only in there when during my office hours, and the rest of that, I'm either in class or on the farm, one of the two. Now, to give you a little bit more about my schedule, I sent y'all my locator card. Y'all should have received that last couple of emails. Fourth email. And there's my locator card. And you can pretty much see I'm here till about 3 o'clock every day. Usually I try to, now on Monday and Wednesday, that's my heavy day because I have 3 classes back to back and I don't have a lunch hour, so I just take off early that day. But Tuesday and Thursday is my light day, so that's when I'm in my office more. Capiche? And that's also outside my door. In case you don't print it out or don't have it, you can see it outside my door. I sent y'all a text, not a text, the other day, and I forgot to attach, and I sent you the attachments after. There it is. This is the last one I sent y'all. I'll pull that one up, but I sent one, and I forgot to attach. I can't remember which, well, no, I didn't send that one. Okay, I didn't send it to my Gmail account. But anyway, there's my, this is the last one that I sent to y'all. And the only, let's see, I want to cover my, it's not on here, class courtesies. Well, let me pull up the third one. You guys on the third email. Class courtesies. Now, most of y'all have had me before, and let's see. I think you haven't had me, and you. I think 3 of y'all have. I have a cell phone. It goes off. I get text messages, and if it's an emergency from my mother or my son or my daughter, I will go out in the hall and I'll answer it. Especially if it's from one of the schools, okay? So I expect the same thing from you. If you get an emergency, if you get something, daycare, your husband, wife, son, daughter, mother, father, something you need to answer, go out in the hallway and answer it. Whether it's a text or whether it's a phone call. I do realize that y'all have lives, so I just want you to treat me the way that I want to treat you. And that's my number 1 rule. And most of you have had me. Only 3 of you haven't. You know that I try to treat y'all with respect, and I try to treat y'all fair, and I just expect the same. And I have a lot of girls in here, so I don't have to worry about testosterone. So we'll probably be okay. All right. Changes. This is not an online class. I do everything online, but the math department has decided to change that and make all teachers get at least 2 in-class tests, and the final should be in class. So I'm going to find a way and try to help y'all out as much as possible. Okay? Don't worry about it right now. Attendance policy. The only thing that I require you to do is step in the door. Once you step in the door, I count you here. Now, if you need to go do something, take care of something, not be here, that's fine. Step in the door, you get counted here. And that's the only thing I can do. I can't count you here because you're in the parking lot. I can't count you here if you're downstairs. You have to come up here and step across, say, Hubert, I'm here. I'll count you here, and then everything's good. The attendance policy, the reason Tri-County Tech has started the attendance policy or now is enforcing it is because of financial aid. Our federal government is really worried about the 1% or 1% or 1% students that are getting by with getting monies but not going to class. Meanwhile, our border against Mexico is wide ass open. Okay? So our federal government is really, really hunkering down on these 1%, 1%, 1%, 1% of students that are not going to class and getting money for it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. We pray for 2016 to get here. Attendance policy. I try to get here. Cross the threshold, I'll count you here. And that's all I'm going to talk about there. I'm not going to go through all of this. I'll talk about supplies later on. I want to talk about another important, and that is, here are things that you will be graded on. This is the one that you need to keep in your notebook with your syllabus. Course compass is the same as my Lab Plus. I'll get to that in just a minute. Here are things you will be graded on. You will have 4 unit tests in here. We'll talk about that when we get to the syllabus. So get your calendars out right now. 14 weeks divided by 4 is 3.5. So I need you to get your calendars out, and every 3.5 weeks from next Monday, because I'm not going to go over a lot of stuff this week. Next Monday, 3.5 weeks, be your first unit test. Now, it's tentative. I'm very tentative. I am not on schedule. Any of my students can tell you that I teach from here and I teach from here. I do not teach by a book and I do not teach by a syllabus. So I do not, that schedule is the last thing that I'm concerned with. Okay? I care about you knowing the material more than I care about keeping up with the syllabus. Make sure, that's just so you can, some people like to have schedules. Well, there you go. Every 3.5 weeks, that's when we should have a test. You can print out the homework. Oh, I forgot to read this. Homework online is started when I start the material. I haven't started the material, so you don't need to worry about it. Homework deadlines will be posted when we get toward the end of the unit. For example means this is made up. Because I will have a student, if I start in Chapter 1 and I start, say, Chapter 8, I'll have a student call me and say, I thought we were on Chapter 1. Okay? For example, if we are on Unit 1 and it covers 8.1 through 8.8, when we get to 8.7, then y'all need to start worrying about what? The test. I have to explain this. For some reason, I have to explain this. I don't know why I should have to. I don't know why I should have to explain that. It should be pretty simple. You can print out the homework and do it on your own, just like conventional paper and pencil, and type in the answers whenever you want to before the deadline. I will show you how to do that. If you don't see a start date or an end date, you need to call me and say, there's no start date and end date. You don't need to what? You don't need to worry about it. The only people that worry about dates are who?
Hammy.
Huh?
Hammy.
Hammy people. Who's hammy people? People that, what's the word, starts with P? Procrastinate. Those are the people that worry about dates. So if you want to tell on yourself, then come on up here and ask me about dates. Because I'm going to just say to myself, this person is a procrastinator. Because that's the ones that worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. You need to worry about deadlines when we get toward the end of a what? Unit. Online testing. Now, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to still do online testing once I figure it out. I will give you 2 to 3 chances. Usually I give 3. It'll take the higher of the grade, the 2 grades or 3 grades, whatever. My Lab Plus will take the higher of whatever grade you attempt. So if you take the test 3 times, it'll take the highest grade. I will give you 7 to 10 days to take the test. Why? Because y'all have 7 dead grandmothers whenever there's a test. You take the test on your time, not class time. Multiple choice and open answer. You can review the print out the test after you've taken it. Usually I give you 4 unit tests. Those you average together and multiply by 60%. Final exam is 20% and the homework is 20%. Question, right, blank. That's a very important page. You need to keep it. Let's go to your syllabus. Syllabus for 103 is right here. I don't care about all this bureaucratic stuff. Last page is all I care about. And we're going to make some changes. We're going to change this to Unit 1. So change Unit 3 to Unit 1. I don't know if I can do that on here. Nope. Change Unit 3 to Unit 1. Change Unit 4 to Unit 2. Unit 2, change to Unit 3. And then the last unit, Unit 1, change to Unit 4. Why do I do that? Well, those of you that's had 120 with me, I think you've had 120, haven't you? Okay. Go back to your notebooks. The first 2 units are these 2 units. So that's why I teach the 103 and the 120. I teach them simultaneously because people can take the 2 together. So in math 120, this is your first unit test. And this is your second unit test. So those of you that just took Math 120 last semester, you will be going over the material you've already done. So that'll help out. I'm not going to teach Math 120 and teach Unit 1 and Unit 2 and then make y'all wait to take it in Unit 3 and Unit 4 here so you can have more time to forget what you learned. I'm not going to do that. And if you take the 2 classes together, my Math 120 and my Math 103, these 2 will be simultaneous with the 120 Unit 1 and 120 Unit 2. So it kind of helps you out. For those of you that need to take Math 120, I teach it tomorrow at 9:30. And I'll be glad to force you in because I know it's full. And then this is Unit 3. I teach this one third because this one is a very important section. It tells you how to do income taxes. It tells you how to do budgeting. It's a very good chapter. This one is useless, so I'd leave it last. Okay. This is your second most important page. Why is it most important? Because if you go on vacation, if you miss a class, you know where I am going. I do not like Math 103. Okay? Why do I not like it? Because I don't like the book. I don't like it the way it's written. I don't like it the way it's laid out. I just don't like it. Okay? So, not that I don't like the class. I like the class. I like y'all. I just don't like the course. So I do pull a lot of Math 120 into it. So it'll be all right. Because if I cover it, you'll be tested on it. Yes?
Does it have any basic questions that
No, it doesn't have the questions, what do you think about this? No, it doesn't have those. and I don't like those anyway, so I try not to give those, and if I do give them, I'll give you credit for them. I don't like those. Okay, so you got make sure you have your syllabus marked. Unit 3 is Unit 1, Unit 4 is Unit 2, Unit 2 is Unit 3, and Unit 1 is Unit 4. Okay. Another important, those are your two most important pages. Your third important page is right here, because you got test questions coming off of this page. First day of class is today. Do you have to come on Labor Day? No. Look there, it says college closed. So there, you need to write that down in your calendars right now. That way you won't have to run around asking your teachers, "Did you go to class on Labor Day?" And then they look at you like you're stupid. Exams for our last day of class is November. You've got to blow it up a little bit, Nana, for me. Last day of class is November what? 24th. Dang old Thanksgiving Day. That probably is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving Day. I don't know. Thanksgiving Day is lined up with the moons or something. I don't know when Thanksgiving is. I just show up when I'm told to show up. And then the exam schedule, move it up a little bit, Dana. Just hit the down arrow. There we go. Is December 1st through December 7th. My birthday is on December 6th, so everybody bring me a present. Okay, that's on Sunday. So everybody bring it on Monday. Okay? Now those are two test questions. This is a test question, and this is a test question. Now I have to give a final online. Might be those two questions. When is the last day of class and when is the final exam? It won't be a lot of questions. You'll come in, you'll take it, and you'll leave. I don't believe in this stuff. Doing stuff because you have to. Their reasoning is that you might go to a college one day that gives nothing but in-class tests. Like you haven't taken in-class tests the last 12 years. If you're right out of high school, what did you take in high school? In-class tests. And what? Okay. So that's that. Who's got questions on any of the handouts? Now, the reason I didn't go over 120 handout is because you're not in 120. I had one student print out all the syllabi. I'm learning about playing football.
But it says in the email, just print your class.
I know that. Okay. Now we're going to go to, I want to write down a couple of things about, let's see, let me go here. Okay, bring it back down, Vanna. 2 phone numbers that you need, besides mine, are the TC help desk. And that's for anything having to do with your TCTC account. I do not use Blackboard, so if you go to Blackboard, that's for your own enjoyment. I use Course Compass or MyLabs Plus, so I do not use Blackboard, so don't be going to Blackboard and saying, Hubert, you didn't put this on Blackboard. No, because I don't use Blackboard. I just told you that. But if you need help with any of these 2 things, 646-1779. Do not call down there with an attitude because they are computer people. They have job security, so they will get an attitude back. So call down there nicely, you get treated nicely. Try MyLabs Plus. If you have any problems with it, 1-800. I hope this is the right one, 677-6337. I think you can put 8s right here and here, and you'll get a dating service like a 1-800 number. I accidentally did that one semester. Put 8s right here and got the wrong one. And that is, you know, don't call them every time you have an issue, because some issues with MyLabs Plus are minor. Okay? One thing you need to do with MyLabs Plus is switch. Don't ask me why, but you need to have 3 search engines. You need to have Internet Explorer. You need to have Firefox. And you need to have Google. Or Google Chrome or something, or whatever. If you have a glitch with MyLabs Plus, say like you go to a test and it doesn't come up, then switch. The first thing you need to do is switch Internet Explorer to Firefox, or Firefox to switch internet engines. Sometimes that takes care of it. They say, and this is MyLabs Plus, they say the best one to use is Firefox. Okay? So, if you do a homework problem and it comes up a white screen, of course hit refresh 2 or 3 times. If that doesn't do it, then switch to Firefox or something like that. That's the best thing I can tell you if something happens as far as a glitch-like thing. Usually if something is wrong, they're going to put something on there that says, we are sorry, blah, 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 something's wrong. Something major wrong. Usually they don't have big problems. Usually it's just this problem. But anything that you think is major, then you need to call them. Don't call me, because I can't do anything about it. The only thing I can do is teach this class and change your grades. That's the only thing I can do. Okay? So don't call me asking me to do all this stuff, because I can't do it. They have to deal with this and this. So that's those 2 numbers. Now, when you do, what do you do when you want to get on the MyLabs Plus? Well, you go to, I'll just redo it, www.tctc, TCTC, I just might as well quit, tctc.mylabsplus.com. And here is what you'll see. Username, everybody already is in there. Should be. If you enrolled, you should be in there. All you need to do is type in your username at Tri-County Tech minus your email extension. So I would type in, instead of hmcclure@tctc.edu, I would just type in hmcclure, period. Not a period, but just H. McClure. And then I type in capital T, and then my number. And that's what you should come up with. You should have Math 103 sitting right in front of you. Now, some of you are going to need an access code. You get them with your book. You get them in the bookstore, or you get them online. So see the bookstore about that. Now, what do you want us to bring as far as a book? I don't care what you bring. You can bring an old book. You can bring somebody else's book. You can bring one book and 2 of you share it. I don't care. You can print out the book. I'll show you how to do that. I don't care. The book is not all that anyway. So, you know, if you want to bring it to class, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine also. The only thing I require that you bring to class is a pen and some paper so you can write something down. That's the only thing I require. Calculator, we don't need to worry about that yet. I'll let you know when we need to worry about that. TI-83 is good, and it'll do statistics for your probability and statistics sections. So that's probably what I would suggest. If you have an Android, you can go to Wabbit, W-A-B-B-I-T, E-M-U, in the Play Store and download a TI-83 for free. Apple, you have to go through an act of Congress. I don't know how y'all are up here. Most Android people are down here, so take it up with Apple. So, you get into this, you click on it, And I know 2 or 3 of y'all have had me before, so you know how to use this. Those of you that don't, there's 3 buttons you need to worry about. Homework, test, and gradebook. Now let's talk about definitions. What do you think homework is?
Work you do at home.
Nope, you call me up and you ask me where the assignments are. Do I reply?
No.
No. Quizzes and tests. What do you think that defines?
Your quizzes and tests.
For the student that texts me or emails me and asks where the tests are. And gradebook. What do you think the word gradebook means?
Where your grades are stored.
And that's to the student that emails me at the end of the semester and asks me what their grade is. No reply. Now, if you want to pull up the e-text, you go to chapter contents. Pull up the chapter you want. Like say you're coming in today and you're down in the lab and you don't have a book, but you want to follow along, and we're in chapter 5 and A. That's what I hate about this book. And e-text, and you can print out all of 5A. And how you do that? You go to the print button, and it'll ask you to print what pages, and you tell it what pages. There's the print button right there, and you print it out, and that's your first page of 5A. And if you have a book, if you open it up right now, it looks just like this. And you can print up to 10 pages. It'll ask you to print, see, like 1, whatever. It'll read how many pages it is, and it'll tell you, it'll ask you what pages to print, and print out what pages to bring to class if you want to. So that's why I'm not very picky about what you bring to class as far as a book, because everybody has the book online. You don't even have to bring it if you don't want to, but some people like to for other purposes. Okay, that's how you find and print out the ebook through chapter contents. Capiche? Everybody good on that? How did I get back to where I was? Let's see. No. There we go. What chapter do we go in first? What's unit 1? Is it chapter 5? Okay. Now, let's say you want to do homework. Go to homework, and you're going to start with chapter 5. Now, out of all of our books, sometimes this book, I don't know if they've gotten better, but this book is not the best as far as having the buttons over here. Some of the buttons don't even exist. Okay? Another reason I don't like this book. Help me solve this. This is a guided tutorial. The difference between a guided tutorial and a tutorial is a guided tutorial will ask you questions. Like, what do we do here? You know, what operation do we do here? Do we add, subtract, multiply, or divide? And you've got to actually put in the answer to the question before you can move to the next step. Some people, that gets on their nerves, so they hit this button. View an example, show me how to do it. And it just shows you how to do it. No asking questions, no answering questions. All you do is hit next, 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 and it shows you each step. A lot of people like this one over this one. A lot of people that use this one are people that are actually learning for the first time the material that we're covering. So if you're in Math 1, if you were in Math 120 last semester, you're going to use this a lot because you're seeing it for the second time instead of the first time. Video, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's for your visual learners. It just goes in and shows you how to do the problem via video. It does it after about an hour of sitting, I guess. But it shows you how to do that. Textbook, that's for people that like to read. I cannot read. I can read, but I don't like to read. I fall asleep. So I'm not a reading learner. I'm not a reading learner. But some of you are. You can read War and Peace like in 2 days. All right? It take me like 2 years to read War and Peace. But some of y'all can read like a book a day. I envy you. But it'll take you right to the point to where you're talking about this section. And that way you can go right to the section. This is the button that I use. And what do you mean you use it? Well, I use it for the class. This sends an email to me. And you put, please go over this question in class. And when I get this email, it'll have a link. And that link, I just have to hit that link. It'll pull up the exact question that you sent me. And therefore, I don't have to go looking for your chapter, your section, your problem. I don't have to go looking in your homework each time you have a question. This is really good because I can use this for like office hour type classes. It's one reason I use online testing. So I can take 4 units times 2 classes to give you the test and to go over the test. That's 8 classes. 8 classes I could use for what? Teaching. Instead of going over tests and going over and just sitting here while you're doing a test. I can be helping you learn the material. And that's why I kind of use my class like office hours. Okay, so when you send me that question, it'll send real time. I can't pull it up because the system's down, of course. I'll try it one more time. No, they still got the do-jigger. Where's the refresher? Yeah, they still got the email gone, so I can't get to it. But I can pull it up on my phone, but you can't see it. So, but the whole point is I can pull it up, hit a link, and get to your problem in a matter of seconds. I keep a folder for you to send problems to. Did your class send a lot of problems? I don't think they did. Did yours? Yours did.
Well, not
The
really.
102 class did, didn't they?
I was in
Last semester? Okay. Well, did they send any?
We just had a few.
Yeah. Your class didn't send anything. Your class and you were playing. But students send me, and I take them instead of just leaving them. I try to put them in a folder, and then I open that folder up and go over questions. If I go over 10 questions, I'll spend the whole period going over 10 questions. If I get one question, I'll go over one question. When I get through with the questions, I go to the next section. If I don't get any questions, then I what? Go to the next section. Squeaky door gets what? OIL. Okay? So make sure you send them. If you don't send them, I'm going to assume what? That you know how to do it. Capiche? So that's how you use. Now, what about print? Right here, you got a print button. Well, there you go. The print button is how you print the whole assignment.